Good morning and welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. If you are new to this show, it is where I take free picks from the internet from my favorite sports writers and handicappers and display them on the board so you can come up with your own picks. Now, I choose these games by games that I would prefer to watch. The list of, I don't know how many games there are today, but yesterday, let's get right to it. Yesterday, I went a good 3-1. That means I am 7-1 for the past 2 days in college basketball. Not too shabby. But last night, let's see, I took Ohio State to beat Illinois and cover 6.5, and they sure did. They won 71-63. I took Memphis and Precious Achue and Penny Hardaway to win on seniors night in Memphis. The Tigers to beat the Shockers from Wichita State, and they did 68-60. The game I did lose. It was almost a full Kappa consensus, not completely, but Arizona State, lost at home to Washington 83. Washington had 90. Okay, finally I won, Oregon destroyed California. Destroyed them 90-56, so they, like I predicted, they totally destroyed and covered that. Okay, so that was yesterday's games. Did very well, 3-1. I'll take that every day, all day, forever. Let's just get on with these games. Good news. Today, I bring my daughter to a doctor's appointment, so that's why this is just this posting a little bit later than usual. But the good news is I may be able to, after the doctor's appointment, I may be able to get another basketball show in before life catches up and says, hey, come on, you got this shit to do. Anyway, let's get right to it. Taking Siena. Siena is 18-10 overall. And they're shit on the road. 4-10 on the road. That means, people, every game they lost, they did it on the road. Okay? But, regardless of that, Pick Dogs Mitch says they are rolling. And he's staying with the strong Siena Saints. And he said they're great in March. And he's right. They are great in March. And as many of you know, if you watch this program, Siena is like a home team to me. It's an hour to go see a Siena Saints game. They're going to New Jersey, though. And they're taking on Monmouth. 18-12 overall. 11-1 at home. The spread, Siena's getting 1.5. Okay? Taking Monmouth at home to cover 1.5 is Sports Chat Place, Randy Chambers. And then Winners and Winers, Blake V. And Stat Salt. And they said it's going to go under 145. Okay? And finally, Pick Dogs, Shane Mickle. Pick Dogs, Shane. So, showing there's 4 cappers, taking Monmouth at home in New Jersey to just Pick Dogs Mitch taking Siena Saints. And you know why I'm going to roll with the cappers, but not just because I'm a Saints fan, but I'm a capper before a fan. That's how you make money. But I'm taking Monmouth because of the Saints are horrible on the road. They've lost every game they've lost on the road. And Monmouth is fantastic at home, 11-1. Saints are top of their division. They're, the MAC. St. Peter's is number 2, but whatever. I got Monmouth winning that game. Okay, that's 7 o'clock. Another 7 o'clock game. We have Georgia Tech, 15-14, going up to Clemson to take on the Tigers. And taking Georgia Tech, we have Pick Dogs Mitch. And we have, okay, Sports Book Review. This is, I haven't used this guy before. Sports Book Review. His name is Willie B. Willie B is taking Georgia Tech. Scores and stats. Scores and stats is scoring the game 72 to 67. Obviously in favor of Georgia Tech. That would be over the 130.5 for scores and stats. Okay, taking Clemson, we just have winners and whiners, Bosan Akínpelú. You know, I mad respect for him. He's a good picker. Stat Salt. They say it's going to go over. Now, on the what show was it? Sorry. Oh, on Tony T's show last night, Tony's Picks. He had on his show, he had Joe Duffy was his, you know, special handicapper. So Joe Duffy did not pick a side. He did lean toward Clemson, but he didn't officially pick a side, but he did say the game will go under. Now I know you got Scores and Stats saying it's going to go over, and Stat Salt say it's going to go over, but this guy's word, Joe Duffy is good. And I'm going to take the under 130.5 because of Joe Duffy. And as for the game, you know, I gotta, looking at the records, Georgia Tech, shitty on the road, or mediocre to shitty. I'd say lean toward more. Clemson, 11-5 at home, leaning toward better, good. And they have even record overall. Clemson's at home. They have to cover 2 baskets. I got Clemson winning this game. So even though the majority is on the side of Georgia Tech, I'm on the side of Clemson. And even though the majority, there's 2 cappers taking the over, I'm going with Joe Duffy and I'm taking the under on that game. Okay, moving on. Next game we have Wake Forest Demon Deacons getting 7.5 points. Plus 7.5 against the Wolfpack, NC State Wolfpack. Let's go. Sports Chat Place, Andrew Jett is taking Wake Forest. And Stat Salt, Dan Benjamin is taking Wake Forest. Stat Salt is also saying it's going to go over a big 151.5. Okay, let's see. Tony's Picks. I told you he had the show last night. Tony T's, his Joe Duffy is taking NC State. And Bookie Blasters, another really good handicapper, Craig Trapp. He was on, I watched the Bookie Blaster show last night with, you know, of course, Allie plus Money Honey Burns. That's why I watch it. But Craig Trapp, he's always on there at least a few times a week. Craig. And he's pretty good. He's good. Finally, the tiebreaker was Pick Dogs Mitch, our man, our boy, Mitch, the hardest working handicapper on the internet. So, that being displayed, the Wake Forest is shit on the road. They are 2-10 on the road. NC State is 13-4 at home, people. And yeah, 7.5 points. It's a decent. The bookies had that number dead on, but I'm not rushing to the bank to bet this one, but I am gonna take the Wolfpack to win at home and cover lay 7.5 points. Finally, last game of this 4-game block is the Virginia Commonwealth University is getting 3 points against Davidson. Taking Davidson, we have from Tony's show last night, Joe Duffy. Pick Dogs Mitch. Then Winners and Whiners, Nick Rafal. Stat Salt, Sean Jackson. He said it's going to be under. And finally, Doc Sports, Tony Sink is the final guy making it a full capper consensus. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying to do this so I can get the thumbnail for this video. But anyway, full capper consensus, full capper consensus. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's there. So, I like VCU though. No, I mean I can't go against that full capper consensus. So I'm also taking Davidson at home. They're 10-2 at home. VCU is 4-6 on the road. They're shit. Davidson's only got to cover 3 points, so that would and it's a full capper consensus. So why would you take VCU? I do. VCU has been on this board. I mean, probably 4 times. Siena's been on this board more than anybody here, but VCU's been out there a few times. But anyway, the records show what they are. VCU overall is good, but they're on the road. Davidson is decent, and they're great at home, 10-2 at home. So there you have it. To recap, and throw in a few extra notes because I forgot. Siena, they did beat Monmouth back January 3rd in Albany with a score of 75-72. So they won. They beat Monmouth back in January by 3 points in Albany. In Albany. They haven't lost in Albany. But now they're in New Jersey, where Monmouth is won. That's another, throwing that out there. Georgia Tech. Oh, so anyway, to recap that game, Monmouth. Georgia Tech, they beat Clemson before in February 25th, not even that long ago, and they won 68-59. That score went under the 130.5, and that was also in Atlanta at their home court. So, once again, I mean, I'm a home court kind of guy. If they have a good home record, what's going to change? Look at all these teams got a good home record against teams with shitty road records. That just worked out that way. I told you I picked these teams by games I'd watch, but look at Eric Arnold be upset. I'm just playing Biggie, but I'm taking all the home teams. Okay, to recap that game, it's taking Clemson to cover 4, and I'm taking the under. Joe Duffy and the last game they had, they're saying the last game they had 68-59. That's under. That's 127. So yeah. Excuse me. I got NC State beating Demon Deacons, and finally the full capper consensus pick: Davidson to beat Virginia Commonwealth University. I'm not taking a total on that game because it's just Stat Salt saying that. So there you have it. Gather your info, place your bets, and cash those tickets. I appreciate you watching. Like I said, there's opportunity today. I might be able to get another episode in for you before there's early games starting, but I think, I think the earliest one's like 3 o'clock or something. And that's probably a game that I'm not going to get enough capper picks for. So, and regardless, I'm definitely doing a hockey thing tonight. There's 6 games of hockey. I'm killing it in hockey too. So be sure to hit subscribe if you haven't. Hit like, and go ahead and leave a comment, man. If you're a capper and you want to get on this board, hey, give me a shout out, subscribe, and if I look at your stuff and it's in early enough, because I do the basketball show early. The hockey show, you have more time because I do that usually after work. Today I have a day off. I took a day off for my daughter. So anyway, if you would like to be on this board as a capper with your pick, try to get your picks in the night prior. I know it's difficult because some of the lines aren't out, but I have to gather this stuff before I go to work wicked early in the morning. So if you'd like to be on this board, subscribe, send me a message, something, and make sure your picks are available. Okay? Sorry to ramble on again. You guys have a great day. Good luck and happy betting, all that good stuff.